26. So just quickly read that out, where the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, the president is saying that it is not possible to remain profitable with this exchange rate. And their first challenge, they have indicated, is that they need to break even. This is because the price of things will be higher, and of course the income of people still remains the same. So the people have lost their purchasing power, meaning they can't afford to even purchase these things anymore. All right, so according to him, the frequent fluctuations and all of that, the bottom line is the demand is very low for a lot of business owners. So trying to break even is a very difficult task as it is now. In order to prepare for long-term plans, it has been quite a struggle. You can't plan for long-term when there has been consistent fluctuations in the forex market. And the truth is that the current forex reality creates the need for manufacturers to come together, fashion out viable solutions in order for them to continue to stay in business. And here we are. We also have the fact that on the future of vehicle import business, we also have the fact that things are looking very, very difficult. 32% decline in the importation of vehicles. So how bad is the situation, and what can the government do to help these businesses? What should the business owners as well on their own part, what should they do at this time? What should the manufacturers do at this time? Because, well, I mean, if I don't have the funds, I can't buy it, and if I don't buy it, that's a lot of losses for these importers at this time now. So that's the first focal point. The second one is taken off the front page of the Punch newspaper, and that's as regards the fact that Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger have pulled out of ECOWAS. What are the dangers of this pullout from ECOWAS by these countries, and what should the leadership of ECOWAS do to solve this problem? I'm taking the story off the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper, because what we have as riders here: Tinubu mom as ECOWAS adopts negotiation with departing Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. But then we also have here Nigeria, ECOWAS are the greatest losers if this pullout actually does push ahead. We also have the fact that the move is to pressurize ECOWAS to reduce sanctions. But then, as Fuad highlighted earlier, the fact that two major concerns here, trade and security, that's the two major concerns here. Security at the front burner, of course, especially as Nigeria shares borders with Niger Republic. So what are other dangers do you see of this pullout from ECOWAS by these countries, and what should the leadership of ECOWAS do to solve these problems? We've had people come up to give suggestions, and maybe they should reduce the sanctions, maybe they should totally stop the sanctions, maybe there should be some sort of sit down. Fuad is saying, maybe we should the leaders of ECOWAS should have a conversation with these three militant leaders and see how we can forge ahead to return these countries to democratic rule and all. But then are we gone past that now? Are we looking at some even further conversations need to be held between the leadership of ECOWAS and these three countries? That's Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. What are your concerns as regards this pullout of ECOWAS? What are your concerns? Let's have a conversation. So those are the two major focal points that we're going to be discussing this morning on Mainland Focus. All right, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can drop your comments on the live chat sections on those streaming platforms. Let's have a conversation. The phone line will be open in a bit. I'm stalling for Had. Hopefully he'll be joining us soon. But then the phone line will be open up in a bit, and then you can as well drop your comments. So those are the two major areas of concentration that we're going to be having this morning. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Knowledge is power. information is key, and that is why we aim to unlock the doors of opinion, unveiling the stories that need to be told. Join Omobola Sandra and Sage Babalola on the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we invoke the thought-provoking discussion, tackle the tough questions, challenge assumption, and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning. You are listening to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM. Good morning.
Thank you for staying with us. Yes, it is still the Morning Express, and we are on the Mainland Focus segment at this time. Now, I've introduced the two focal points. Let's get Fuad's thoughts. Thank you for joining me in the studio.
Thank you for having me, Sandra.
All right, so let's get your thoughts and open the phone line.
All right, I think for the Forex crisis, it still goes back to what Mr. 𝗏𝗏ᴏ is able to do. We were waiting for him to come up with something that would, at least in the short term, tame the free fall, stop the free fall of the naira against the dollar. He said a whole lot. I think the MPC meeting will be happening, I think, this week or so. Yes, I think the MPC meeting will be happening this
Wednesday.
week. Yeah, so we're waiting to see what he's going to come up with. I'm hoping it's not just going to be the usual theme of raising interest rates. We're going to hope that some measures would come in, some interventions would come in. We can't have this free fall, Sandra. My fears, is that the fact that if we're not careful, even before the middle of the year, we could be looking at 2,000 naira to $1. And if you look at it, importation has become very, very difficult. Again, if you look at that Vanguard report, it's talking about car importation. Yeah. Sandra, I can tell you that importation of cars has become very, very expensive. So what you find is that Nigerians are now used to buying Nigerian used cars.
There's no 1-point-something million car again.
Which car?
it's so painful. Before you used to have 1.8.
No, to Cuba cars, of course, yes. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7.
Yes, but now everything is from 3.
Look, Sandra, this is the first time in the history of Nigeria where cars is not devalued. The value of cars keep going up. If you buy a car, let's say 2 years ago, for example, I have a brother who bought a Tokubo car, I think a year ago, for 1.6 million naira. The value of that same car, Nigerian use now, is no less than 3 million naira. Initially, it used to be, initially in the past, we will tell you that when you buy a car, from the moment you drive it from the from the car lot, the value starts to depreciate. No, Sandra. Even Nigerian used cars now are very expensive because importers will tell you that, look, apart from the problem of the dollars bringing it into the country, the duty to pay to clear the car is also very expensive because it is calculated in dollars. So you for example, you imported a car, maybe everything calculation maybe about 2 million naira to bring it in. To now clear it, you are spending like another 2.5 million naira to clear it. So people have resort to. So what you now have is that they refurbish Nigerian used cars now. They help you to do the panel beating, they paint it, and that's what people are doing now. Wow. And by extension, the manufacturers too, because they also have to look. A lot of manufacturers still have to import some of their active ingredients they use to manufacture their raw materials and all of that. So the Forex crisis is leading us to a point where we could begin to have serious crisis in our economy. We already have crisis, but we will have serious crisis that will lead to unemployment, insecurity, and a whole lot of things that we are not praying to have. And so something has to be done. Something has to be done. From May till now, Sandra, from around 750, we are talking about 1,400 and something to $1. The pound is even flying. That one is not. No. That one is just.
The pound is 1,700.
It's unbelievable, Sandra. Unbelievable. So something has to be done, and I think manufacturers have to decide whether they want to remain in business or want to shut down. In trying to remain in business, like I've said, the strategy of increasing prices, yes, they would have to do that, but it can't be astronomical, because what would not happen is that people will not even buy. It's so primary to the people will stay off from those kind of products. That's why manufacturers are already complaining that, look, the shelf life of their product is getting too long. People don't buy again. When they get there, they want to buy things that are essential to them. The same thing when it comes to drugs. I pity manufacturers who are in the luxury goods business. And that's why what some manufacturers are doing now, Sandra, is that they are shutting down their factories and now focusing on importation. The same thing this other company he said they will be doing. Is it P&G, Procter & Gamble?
Yes.
That rather than trying to manufacture from Nigeria, they'll concentrate on importing these things, and so it's just them wholesalers and retailers. They are not paying anybody. They are not making plants and machinery. They are not paying salaries for manufacturing because it has become extremely difficult for them to do that.
All right.
So that's on that. On the issue of ECOWAS, I think the diplomacy cannot work. Even the US will tell you, Sandra, that we don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't do this. We don't do that. But in reality, a lot of times, a lot of negotiations go on. I think that this is the time for ECOWAS to look at diplomacy, to look at negotiations, because again, even Niger, all of the threats, all of the things, the military guys are still there. President Bazoum is still on house arrest. I think some weeks ago his son was released. So all of the intervention, even France, their colonial master has not been able to rein them in. So what we have to look at is the interest of the regional bloc, which is ECOWAS. We can't face, because Sandra, if we are not careful, what is going to happen in these three countries going forward would have serious negative consequences on the entire West African sub-region. Insecurity, disruption in businesses, and then I'm suspecting that we are beginning to see counter coup. And when that starts to happen, we are in for serious trouble in the West African sub-region. So time now for the leadership of ECOWAS, as led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to look at the option of diplomacy and dialogue with these guys. Options of give clear timelines as to when we want to transition. 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, let's know what you are working with. And then pressurize them, put some pressure on them to hand over power to democratically elected government. That's the way out.
All right. Thank you very much, Said Further. Appreciate you sharing your contribution as regards the focal point. Now, the phone line is open 0913 6000 410 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call, and let's have a conversation. I have just 2 minutes. Let's straight to the point, and let's stay focused as regards the two focal points this morning. The first is as regards forex crisis, high imports affects car importation and even manufacturers, and also the pullout of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from ECOWAS. What are your concerns, and what are the dangers of this pullout, and what should the leadership of ECOWAS do to solve this problem? 0913 6000 410. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube, so please do well to drop your comments, like, share, and follow us on our social media platforms. Would really appreciate that at Mainland 98.3 FM. So please drop your comments and let's have a conversation as regards the two focal points for the day. 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Baisauko.
My friend, what?
Good morning, sir.
God bless all of you there.
Amen.
Yeah. On the issues we are focusing on, this forex, the first one is forex crisis, right?
Yes.
Yes. You see, the issue of forex crisis is as a result of our bad policies. You see, you cannot concentrate your efforts on importation, and expect that your own currency will have value. It will not have value. So the thing is for government to encourage local production. Discourage a lot of importation, because right now in Nigeria we import almost everything except sand. We cannot sustain it, So government has to make policies that will encourage production. That is the solution to this forex crisis. We have to value what we have locally so that we don't depend too much on imported products. Yes. So then the issue of these ECOWAS countries that are pulling out, the problem is that even if they pull out, they will continue to depend on Nigeria. Like Niger Republic that want to pull out of Nigeria. I don't know how they are going to do it because they depend a lot on Nigeria, smuggling and everything. You know, when they pull out of Ecowas, well, I don't know, but one thing I want to say about the Niger Republic in particular.
Thank you.
Niger Republic is root up on Nigeria. I remember when President Buhari was.
Thank you very much, Pastor Oko. 2 minutes up. Thank you. Appreciate. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Fᴏᴜ, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, like this one.
Yes, sir.
Yes, on this issue of forex, Nigeria need to know.
𝗪𝗏ᴏ Suber, is your radio on?
Because of our
Alhaji, you need to turn down your radio, turn it off completely.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I'm okay now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's okay now.
I think Nigeria need to know because the valuation, of fluctuation of our naira. Ʀᴏᴏ is not a magician. There's a problem that is causing the under the value of our currency. Let them come out and tell us. You understand? Because the last speaker was saying that look, we're dependable on the importation. If it's the issue of importation, let us know so that the federal government should focus on production. This is because we keep on shouting on the refinery so these are part of the economic buoyant where Nigeria is supposed to be having some economic recovery. So let ʀᴏ come out and because I don't believe ʀᴏ will have any magic to do. If there's a problem that is causing this the currency, let Nigeria know so that we cannot be expecting something like magic from ʀᴏ. That is my position. On the issue of BURKINA, FASO, Niger, and whatever. You see, I had it in some news this morning. Niger is building a pipeline from the Republic of Benin, for importation of foreign to the country. So, and Nigeria has a kind of bilateral agreement, especially on the River Niger, concerning our electricity. So, you see, I don't know whether ECO has the capacity to block that pipeline. So, for you can elaborate, you can get more enlightenment on that issue. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Bilateral agreements between I wasn't sure which country now, Nigeria and which country? I don't think I got that. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Yes. I think we lost that one. All right, but I'm sure in the course of the show we'll be able to drop that. But I didn't get that last part. But thank you very much, Alhaji Suber. 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Abiodun Bakari.
Good morning, Barrister Bakari.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Fᴏᴜ.
Good morning,
Sandra.
Good morning.
Well done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my take will just be on because I'm a student of international institutions. There's this growing worry whether the center can hold any longer. The concept of having regional bodies is for countries within that regional body to be able to speak with one tone, one voice. But with regard to Nigeria and Africa, and also globally anyway, countries are beginning to display an attitude that tend to show that they are not in tune with the ideas and ideology of the other countries making up that regional body.
Okay.
Of course, it's a reality, and I think Mainland should try and get us an interview or an in-depth knowledge of these regional bodies and the possibility of their being of disintegration of this regional body. The reason is simply because it's an important aspect of our life, and a lot of us are not paying attention to it. Countries can't speak together in one tone and in one language anymore. So I'm not surprised that those countries pull out of ECOWAS, and I can tell you that more will come. And it's not just happening within the West African sub-region or areas. It's also a matter that is of a global concern. So I feel that Africa needs to redefine its purpose for the purpose of having these regional bodies? And how much of bites can they have? For example, the Niger-Chad issue. You can see that African countries can't even come together to provide solution. So I'm worried that regional bodies are losing their grip, and Ecowas is also a victim of this current move. So how do we go about it? Right. It's a problem that we need to look at in Africa, particularly Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abiodun. Yes.
Again, if you look at that story, Sandra, what is being said is that, look, a lot of these issues are even beyond the borders of West Africa. There's the international part of it. You understand what I mean, Sandra? A lot of this coup, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, you always see the hand of Russia in it. So there's also that global interference that is leading to all of these things. Although a lot of these countries, just like Nigeria, is supposed to be non-aligned, where we are either for the West or the East, we are supposed to be neutral. But the reality is that in our relationship, we also take sides and we look at our own interest. So the reality is that Africa has been a continent that is determined what we do, how we live our lives, our relationship. Is determined by people who are not even in Africa. They come here, they have all manner of ways. We become a beggarly continent. We wait for aid, we wait for support, and so in all of those aids and support, they tell you what you are supposed to do. A lot of these khaki boys are looking to Russia for help. They can't run those countries alone. They don't even have the resources. They don't have the money. So the reality is that, look, Africa has refused to stay back and run independently and decide what they want to do with themselves. We always wait for them to support us, and in those supports, they tell you what to do. So it's just a reality.
Thank you very much, Stedford. 0913-6000-410. This is 7 minutes gone past 9, and you are listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. And engineer Nick from Yaba.
Good morning, engineer.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
We can't blame these people that left the Ecowas, because what is the vision and the aspiration of the Ecowas leader? They want they sanction them.
There's this feedback.
To embrace them and to fight them. Everything has to be advised.
I don't think we're communicating.
Can you shift your position a bit
I don't think he can hear us. Maybe you should call us back. Maybe someone that knows him to please tell him to call us back. We can barely hear what you're saying. But thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
This is Pastor Badamosi from 𝗏ᴏᴜ.
Okay.
Yes. The issue of the Ecowas members,
Okay.
Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali opting out. They are going to opt out to Russia because their countries the poorest in the world. Nigeria is a big brother. It's a helping Niger Republic. Nigeria is not Bukata, Ecowas. So I don't see any reason to be bothered that Niger is leaving Ecowas or Burkina Faso is leaving Ecowas. We should re-strategize. If the bank is a good one, the Ecowas work is a very good economical because you can use that to negotiate. And if Francophone countries have been an hindrance into bringing this particular lofty idea to fruition, they have always been there. When we are trying to create an Ecowas naira or Ecowas money, they went out ahead. They have not been very cooperative in terms of forging ahead with the lofty ideas of having a African bloc. So India go.
Hello, Pastor Badamosi? Yes, we're with you.
Yes, I'm not saying that holding Ecowas as a bloc is bad, though. But the role these Francophone countries have been playing has been very, very bad. So I'm not saying it's all little, but Nigeria is very cautious as to how to handle. I know President Tinubu is their chairman now. But we should tread carefully and know what to do about this. They cannot bring. They are leaving France for Russia. It's like leaving from to fire. They have no money to own this thing. They have no money. That is a mistake.
Thank you very much, Pastor Gbada. I must say, I appreciate you. But it's
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Well, my name is Tumi from Akonjo.
all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, they are very detailed. And then, firstly, I wanted to beg all our caller. You know, when they wanted to call on the program, they should know their business. Especially when I'm listening to it, not only inside the studio, please. And then, secondly, Mr. Fab, I don't have much to say. But Mr. Fab, I want to ask you one question. Where are the economic experts in this country? Where this thing are going on? Me too, personally, I don't understand anymore. Because the government cannot decide to do. You will call experts. All of you will sit down and then find something that will go for Nigeria that all of us will be enjoying. Because the government is giving policy. That's why it's affecting everybody. See, the manufacturing want to join everything will increase now. Salary zero, everything zero. What of the common people that don't have anything? I'm telling you, something will happen in Nigeria that will shake Nigeria that will not very, very careful. So what's happening about it now?
So we can hear you because we can barely.
Why would they leave? They say we are sanctioning them. Why won't they leave? If we say we are brothers, there is a way we can relate that we will be comfortable with ourselves. Is insecurity? Are we better off? Irrespective of where they are going, it's immaterial. The reason why they are leaving is what we should look into, and our own status as a nation. We say we want to fight them, we say we want to sanction them, and our own economy is not better off. Today, naira to dollar is 1,420 to a dollar, and silver is about 2,800 to $1,000. The economy is better off. So what benefit are they to get from us other than just bully and all that? And we are spending extraordinarily. Children of politicians are going to other countries to spend hundreds of millions of naira for birthday. Are we serious at all? Is our economy better off? Are we taking care of the welfare of our citizens? Is our security better? They kidnap the political leader or PDP in Lagos State, or spending 5 days in the adopted to Gulag, and we cannot do anything about it. And they release some people because of him, who are holding on to him, and we are not doing anything. Is it not having political undertow? All these things are there that they have to watch, and we go along with these people.
All right, thank you, Mami.
Benefiting anything.
Thank
Those
you.
are the things. So we don't pay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you, Omabala Sandra.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
Thank you, my dear.
Yes.
Mr. Fuad,
Good morning, sir.
you are welcome back to the studio.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I want to talk about this naira for the manufacturers. Well, I don't know. Maybe you tell me the official price on Friday is how much? Is it not about naira, the dollar?
920.
Mr. Fuad.
It's going to, but nobody gets anything at the official window. That's the problem. We can't work with that. Nobody gets anything there.
Because as for me, if I want to suggest to the CBN governor, those manufacturers, they should collect their names, their company, how many of them, they should be selling $9 direct to those manufacturers. That will allow them to go to the black market. That's number one. Number two, why don't they make a law now in this country? Maybe it's a part to National Assembly by Mr. President, take a bit to the National Assembly by Mr. President, or by the CBN to enact a law. If official price is around 900 naira or 800 naira or 700 naira, they can never sell it more than 750 at the black market. Anybody that follows this law to be do it according to the law. ECOWAS relate with United Nations to sanction these people seriously. You know what? They don't want military. What are they trying to do? Let them go away and deal with them severely. That's my time this morning. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Appreciate. We'll take a break from the phone line and go take our messages on Facebook. You are listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and this is Mainland Focus. And the focus for today, or the focal point for this morning, we're looking at imports situation, forex crisis, high imports affecting car importation and manufacturers. How bad is the situation? What can the government do to help these businesses, and what should manufacturers do at their own on their own side as well? And then we also have the Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger pullout of ECOWAS, and we're asking, what are your concerns as regards this pullout? What are the dangers of this pullout from ECOWAS by these countries, and what should the leadership of ECOWAS do to solve this problem? All right, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can also call in or send text messages or WhatsApp messages. The number for messages is 0913 6000 430, 0913 6000 430. But let's take some WhatsApp, some Facebook messages. We'll be back to WhatsApp in a bit. I have here Oluwaseun James is saying, good morning, Sandra and Fuad. I don't think our so-called Nigerian leaders know what exactly is Nigerian challenges, because our dear country is moving backward among nations, while our leaders are bragging of it, but nothing positive to show for all their efforts. Thank you, and God bless you. All right, we also have Issa Benjamin is saying, good morning, Mainland FM. For me, pulling out of these three countries from ECOWAS is better for those countries who has ECOWAS helped. Yeah. What has Nigeria as a country benefited from ECOWAS? Okay. Yes. I think these are the conversations that we need to have, for the
people, yeah.
Elections are being rigged in parts of ECOWAS countries, and the members of ECOWAS don't do anything. Economic community
of West African states.
Economic
Less of politics, really.
Economic community. But then, didn't do anything about it. They're only interested in the matter of the coup. The ECOWAS, they're silent in matters of corruption, election rigging, bad governance by some presidents in ECOWAS. So what is the purpose of ECOWAS? As for the forex crisis, it is the Nigerian masses that are at the receiving end. The manufacturers sell their product based on cost of production, and that is Benjamin from Shogunle. I also have here Basil Chika. Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso leaving the ECOWAS is the good news. I expect more countries to follow suit, because the evil coming out of the union is more than the good since the establishment. After all, a country like Mauritania left, and since then they are still living their lives. And for states mulling for death sentence for kidnapping, they should also add corruption in it, because there's an adage that if you want to blame someone that kills by the sword, you first arrest and deal with the sword molder. Chika Bende from Trade Fair, sharing his own thoughts there. Also have Prince Leo Ozoma. Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. Honestly, it is becoming increasingly difficult to eke out a living in Nigeria, particularly now that the incomes of workers are stagnant. Profits of businesses are eroded by the high cost of inflation, and as a result of it, commodities prices are astronomically increasing daily, while the government is not coming out with hopeful or practical policies that will stem the harsh effects caused by this hazardous situation. Unfortunately, we do not have an independent National Assembly that would have put the executive on their toes with a stern warning timeline to ship things up or be shipped out. But that is not happening and will not happen anytime soon. For Niger Republic and Co., let them suit themselves. God help Nigeria. Leo Ozoma from Isolo. Thank you very much. I also have here James Ogbona. Sandra and Fuad, I greet you fundamentally. Mr. Fuad, those three West African nations, have they already exited or they are planning to? Because the report Sandra read from the Punch says they have left. If they have left already, are you saying ECOWAS should beg them to return, or what is the actual true report? Mr. Fuad, what if they chose not to return to democratic rule? Will the timeline you suggested work? Because those guys don't look like they want to transit. What other pressure can you put on them to transit when they don't want to be part of ECOWAS anymore? Are they planning to form their own group? I've forgotten the name. Maybe we should be begging them. But my question is, what economic benefits are we getting from them, especially Nigeria? You can't pressurize someone you're trying to beg. Is there anything we can do to make them the ones begging ECOWAS instead? Maybe using their comparative disadvantages against them. Let's not talk about the manufacturers and Forex Wala today. And that's James Ogbonna from Oshodi. I think first.
Yeah, you have so many questions there.
Yes, I think we should start first with the true report is that they have exited ECOWAS.
They exited, yeah.
ECOWAS has not recognized their exit, saying that there's supposed to be a process that's supposed to be followed. But
notice of
according to them, well, we don't want to do it again. That's basically what they're
these are military guys, really. They are not democratically elected, so they might not really even follow processes and procedures. Now, again, we're not saying ECOWAS should beg them, but what we're saying is that, look, you see, no country exists in isolation. If you say, oh, what is happening in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger does not concern us, it does. And that's why there's a security concern that comes with this particular exit, even with the military takeover. Because if there's insecurity in those countries, it's going to rub off on us negatively. Remember that all of this insurgency we are talking about, a lot of times you get the government saying that, look, these are guys from Mali, these are guys from Niger, because they can use that place as a breeding point and then, of course, come into the country. So on insecurity, we need to pay attention to our neighbors. What is happening there? What is going on with them? Who are the guys, disturbing these neighbors? Because they would also use that opportunity, to come into the country. And that's what we've been seeing with the north, northeast, northwest, with the issue of insurgency, banditry, and all of that. And the reality is that most of these countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, also have their own problems with jihadist extremists, Islamic insurgency, and all of that. And if we can't tame that problem, it's going to affect us negatively. And then the issue of economy too, businesses. If you ask people in those 7 states that border Niger, they know a lot of trade relationship that goes on between Nigeria and Niger. Amongst farmers, when it comes to importation, goods and services, a lot of things happen. We are in the south here, we may not really know how important these nations are to Nigeria. A lot of farmers also take their goods there. Sometimes, if I will tell you that onions, there are some farm produce that come from Niger. You think it's coming from the north, it's actually from Niger. That we also get from here. So a peaceful ECOWAS is important. There are advantages of having regional blocks that work for prosperity of nations, member nations, and I think ECOWAS is that regional block that we must encourage to exist and remain the way it is. So it's not about begging, it's about diplomacy and looking at how to bring these people in. And I think any threat will not remove these guys from power. It has to be diplomacy, really.
All right, thank you very much, Said Fuhad. Also said economic benefits we're getting. You've already highlighted.
Talk about the states
that. Yes, but the truth is, at the end of the day, just as Father said, no man can operate
in isolation.
We need
one another.
That's just the truth of it all. And for those who are saying, why is ECOWAS even interested in, that's one of their core functions, actually. Peacekeeping is one of their core functions.
Within the block.
Within that block, yes, exactly. So it's all part of it. And at the end of the day, everything has come together to ensure that everybody, economy-wise, we're all doing great. We can all share ideas. We can all share, interest as well. And don't forget that, it's visa free, just in case. I don't know if anybody is interested in that one. Maybe
you go to Mali or Niger
or Burkina Faso. Those are not the only countries that are suspended, from ECOWAS. But then Guinea is suspended as well. I always forget that Guinea is also a part of West Africa. It's also a part of ECOWAS, actually, and is currently suspended. But all of this conversation for another day. We'll see if anything can actually come out from this pullout, whether it's to seek attention as regards the sanctions, because the truth is, reports gathered is that the sanctions really biting really hard, especially on Niger Republic. The economic sanctions of ECOWAS on Niger Republic has been biting really hard on the people of Niger. So whether the leadership of Niger at this time now will take that into cognizance is another conversation entirely. All right, still on Facebook we have a message here from Prince Akpewe Cassidy. Good morning, hope your weekend was okay. Yes, it was okay. Concerning dollar, is there a way we can evade this dollarized economy? Because I think this rate will keep going higher and the government is incapable of handling it. Concerning ECOWAS issues with Mali and Co., I think ECOWAS on its own haven't done anything significant since its inception. How many ECOWAS countries' passports is top 20 passports in the world? How many ECOWAS countries' economy are doing really well? Then their heads of state, how many of them are truly democratic? Is it the president of Cameroon or the other countries? Funny how they are so quick to judge.
Cameroon is not West Africa. You see them are not Central. Central Africa. Sorry,
Africa.
They don't see. Yeah.
Yes, but it's okay.
They don't see it as well.
Funny
West
how
Africa.
they are so quick to judge Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, while most ECOWAS leaders got power through coup. Okay. I also have Tony Ajishegiri. He's saying, good morning. It's tiring to be a Nigerian at this time like this. Do we really have hope? Because there seems to be no light at the end of this very dark tunnel. Well, those are the messages we take for now. We still have other messages on Facebook. Please, you can keep dropping your messages on Facebook. We'll be back to the Facebook comment section in a bit. But we also have quite a number of messages on WhatsApp. So let's just quickly run through that. I'll be back to the phone line in a bit. Kayode from Ikotun, the entry and exit of any country to ECOWAS is voluntary and it's based on certain criteria. And sincerely speaking, these countries exist in aberration to the principles of ECOWAS membership. That's an interesting term there. All right, we also have here, good morning, Mainland FM. This is Gege Joshua from Ebute Meta. I don't believe in interfering in the governance of a country, especially in a situation where the people are not complaining or protesting about the government. Of course, the article of the ECOWAS would deal with the rest, as they cannot withdraw membership by just mere announcement, but give a notification. Let's allow Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to be in peace, and the region itself. We need to stop the interference where people are not condemning their policies.
We've said it again and again that, look, it's not our interference about what happens there would also affect you. No country exists in isolation. You wonder why America is interested in the Middle East. You should know why they are there. You should know why they are in the Korean Peninsula. It's because it's become a global village. And if you have neighbors who have troubles, you think you are isolated. No, you are not insulated from those troubles. It will rub off on you negatively.
It will get to you. One way or the other.
One way or the other.
It will get to you. I mean, look at Egypt now. It was on its own. No? And now, because of the Israel-Gaza situation, now they are
Egypt is okay. Look at Arab Spring that led to the fall of many leaders in the Middle East. It led to a refugee crisis that became a problem in Europe.
Everybody is now migrating.
Europe is now suffering from that problem of the Middle East.
In the Middle East,
and then migration became a problem.
So that's why we are saying, what are the dangers of these pullouts? All right. Yes, maybe it's good for the goods of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger.
It's not even good for them. These military guys don't understand these things. They just want to hold on to power. Oh, okay, all right.
Because the people, they are not protecting. But it is not good for the gander of neighboring countries. Niger, say for example, shares close borders with 7 states in Nigeria, and I think that's enough for that.
Why we are interested in what is happening there.
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. In economics, the higher the price, the lower the demand. Just because the policies by federal government, which is making business unhealthy to strive, which may continue to sink the economy. If proper solution is not found to give value. Okay. 𝗃∨ from Ijora. Thank you very much. I also have good morning. This government claimed to have the solution to everything before coming into office. So I seriously doubt it has suddenly fallen short of ideas in less than a year in office. Nigerians are watching and patiently waiting for the next election. Owen from Lagos. Are you saying we have to wait 3 more years for all of this before we can get something done? I don't know about that, but so help us God. Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso leaving ECOWAS is good news. Oh, I think I've taken that off Facebook already. All right, we also have here, good morning. As for me, the best thing that can happen to any ECOWAS member country is to pull out of ECOWAS, because I have not seen any benefit from them. Ras Liberty says so. I think there's a lot that we need to talk about as regards ECOWAS.
I will understand what we're saying.
I think so. Let's talk of what we are doing to ourselves, as the country is almost becoming a past tense. Instead of worrying about countries leaving the so-called ECOWAS, What have we really gained, even as so-called giant of Africa, other than wasting our money and resources? Nigeria alone is a bad example why some members can behave anyhow with the so-called regional body. If we were the giant that we are supposed to be, the issue of coup across the region would unlikely occur. Let President Tinubu be advised to face the cancer we have here and leave the malaria in Ecowas. Oh, Steve Ijaniki, malaria can or may lead to cancer as well. So it's something that we all need to talk about. But let's go back to the phone line, 0913-6000-410. The time check right now is 9:32 a.m. and you're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good morning. Okay, slept for too long. Yes, good morning. Hello. All right, please do want to call back. Apologies for that. There. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
good morning.
I'm calling from Kuwait.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Ford.
Morning, sir.
Sincerely, on a quick one on this the Burkina Faso and all the other life.
Yes.
People have been saying some things that are very sensitive, and I would like us to just look at it also. The benefit of what the purpose of the thing is not known. Abuse is inevitable. What is the purpose of Ecowas? Are they fulfilling their mandate? That is the main question. If politics, if they want to interfere with the political issue of any nation, the same thing will come back to come and affect the economy of all these nations that they are managing. We said we talk about the peacekeeping. If politics is not well managed, there will not be peace. That is why if they want to really maintain as the status quo as their body, as a body, then they should have to check all these things. If they have checked into the economy of all these nations, people are suffering. That is why they have to tend to move back to their children. Nobody wants to go back to the military. But it is because of the hardship. And what is happening? The economy of Nigeria is going down the drain every day. What is the stand of Ecowas? Nothing is happening now. Now when President come out of hand, you now start saying Ecowas is existing. Ecowas will stand up and rise up to every challenge that all these nations are having. It is good to coexist. But if there is no standard, if there is nothing they are doing, then it is like a cigarette body. Then everybody will feel like, I don't want to pull out. I don't want to pull out. Because they don't really see the benefits of being in Ecowas. When the ship was there in Nigeria and everything, Ecowas was not saying anything. But when they got pull out, when the mistake could not happen, you now see Ecowas coming out and start saying something. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. When people are suffering, let Ecowas stand up. When people are complaining of corruption, let Ecowas stand up. And let us see the policies in every other aspect. Nigeria's economy now, we are talking of $1,420. We are still joking. I pray that we will not see more unemployment money.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bumi. I appreciate. Hello, good morning. Oh no, I lost that one. 0913-6000-410. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Salau.
Oh, Malam Salau, how are you doing?
Very well, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You see what people doesn't know the geography of Niger as a country. Niger covers about 7 states
in the north.
Namely Borno, Yobe, Jigawa, Katsina, Zamfara,
Katsina,
Kebbi, and Sokoto. See, the implication is this: we are going to have a very serious security threat. You understand? If this country
security threat,
yes, because there won't be any intelligent gathering anymore. And if you observe very well, since the time that this president sanctioned Niger, the security issues, especially banditry or whatever in northern part of Nigeria,
have become so bad. Yeah.
Just coming increase. You know why? We are unique. We look alike. You can't differentiate a Nigerian from
Nigerians in some areas. Yeah.
That is the kind of we look now. It's only when they speak that you know this person are going to have is that there will be very, very serious
insecurity.
Yes. And what I feel is that, people, this is just like the issue of Boko Haram. When you start to say, northern team, when you start to immigrate, even gradually, this is now become a national
problem.
Yes. You understand? If you look at the economic wise, the traders in the northern Nigeria, particularly in Kano, last time, if you from Delhi, you can remember, they keep on lamenting that they lost about 13 billion every week.
Because their goods are perishing at the borders here.
Yes, at the border. So when you look at, for me, what is even the economic value or whatever this function of the jet?
All right.
The offense is that the overthrow government, the military government, that is now.
Okay.
So that's the problem, even the to Nigeria and anything. And finally, is that even the NEPA,
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we were able to capture the issue of insecurity. Again, if you have a country that has,
which is very crucial, especially at this time.
At this time, a country that has borders with 7 states in the north, and you think we shouldn't pay attention to what is happening there?
How many states are in the north?
So it's important that we pay attention to a country like Niger, and by extension, Mali and Burkina Faso, because there are also countries who share borders with Niger. So whatever happens there, it's going to affect you. Like you said, when Boko Haram started, a lot of Nigerians had thought it was a northern problem. Now look at what it has become.
Well, let's also not gloss over the fact that there are still reports going round as regards this illegal mining situation, that most of these people are from Mali
and
Niger. So if we're having conversations like that, and we're already having this.
And Madam Salah talked about intelligence gathering, because again, remember that when Boko Haram became a serious problem, there had to be a West African force to deal with it. So if Niger is pulling out, Burkina Faso is pulling out, Mali is pulling out, how do we share intelligence with them? Intelligence gathering.
Well, let's also look at the fact that having conversations president to president is already tedious. Having conversation president to military head of state is another.
And there might be military officials of these different countries share intelligence, security operatives, because they need to work together. Like I said, we are not in isolation. We need them to secure ourselves too.
It's not as easy as Lagos and Ogun State, or Ogun State and Ogun State shares territory with I think 3 states or so, Kwara, Ondo, and 1 other state. So it's not as easy as that. This is bigger than what we may think, and I think a lot of us.
We understand the issue of when we talk about the fact that the military, when we talk about governance, really the failure of governance, democracy is not thriving in most of these countries. That's a conversation, but we have a problem. Let's talk about the problem now. We have 3 countries in West Africa pulling out, and that's the problem for now. Yes,
there was a military coup, there was a military takeover.
Yes,
and because with 𝗈𝗍 is why there's a lot.
We have to 𝗈𝗍 that we can't keep quiet.
So that's what I'm saying. So is it do people expect that whenever there's an issue in one West African state,
country,
all West African states have to come in and wade in? Sometimes these countries also need to have some sort of independence and autonomy to be able to carry out whatever
decide what they want to do with their lives
for their country. But when bilateral trade is being threatened, when security across board is being threatened,
we need to now come in.
Everybody needs to talk. Okay, we can take one more phone call, and that will be it for today, and then wrap things up with a few messages. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Peter.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I think for me the pullout is an interesting thing, and it's something that they should have done earlier than now, because for the fact that you belong to an organization, and then one of the leaders, their president was misbehaving, they complained. Ecowas did not do anything. Let us ask, first of all, what prompted the military takeover in that country? Was the democratic governance running well and the military came in? The answer is no. We all heard about it. Ecowas did not do anything. And those people intercepted. And then the people rejoiced, said, thank you for coming to liberate us. For me, I call them gallant soldiers of those 3 countries. Patriotic soldiers that came to liberate their people. They did not want their people to remain under the heavy weight of what they call democracy in Africa, which most of us have agreed that what we are practicing calling democracy in Africa is not actually democracy. So they decided to go military and leave them with that. That's you have suspended them. And if you have suspended them and they pull out, why are you trying to bring them back? Leave them. Let them take care of themselves. Whatever they go to, wherever they go to, let them go there. Provided they take care of their citizens. I think for me that stands. Their pull out for me is welcome. I applaud them. I say kudos to the military leaders of these three countries. Maybe other people who want to take care of their people may follow suit. I think let me manufacturers, so when they are ready, they tell the government that what the government is doing is wrong. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you very much. But I believe they've been talking. Yes, the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria has actually been talking. Let's wrap things up. I have here. Oh, okay. All right. I think I have to take some messages here. I have here Lilian Agbaje is saying, good morning. I just returned from Abidjan. Our naira value is quite appalling. Their CFA is almost 3 times higher. You don't have to go to Abidjan, Lilian. In Benin Republic here, it's already evident. So, anyways, continuing the message. For the period I stayed there was steady electricity and water. Even various villages I visited have basic amenities. So why is Nigeria so disorganized? Let Mali, Niger and others enjoy their true freedom. Yeah. Naira has no hope to rebound. All right. I also have Wale Williams saying ECOWAS under the leadership of Nigeria has failed over time in their responsibilities to the membership countries. ECOWAS regional countries are some of the most terrorized, impoverished and underdeveloped in the world. They should go and not look back. Concerning Forex, corrupt money spinning public office holders. Corrupt money spinning public office holder. That's interesting. And politicians take huge local cash from government treasury
and change it to dollars,
exchange it to foreign currency, hoard it, then cause shortage in the economy.
That's the mapping up, the rackets we're talking about.
The government know what to do, only if they want to. And that's Wale Williams on Facebook. Yeah. All right. And Temitakwe on Notoye is also shared. It's unfortunate that the citizens that continue to suffer from the bad policies of the government. Mark my word, the outcome of the meeting on Wednesday will end up having to increase bank interest rates. The possible solution to forest crisis: reduce the fuel pump price by fixing all national refineries, ensure stable power supply so that the high cost of using diesel and petrol to power generator will reduce rate of taxes collected from manufacturers, provide adequate security for lives and property so that farmers can go back to the farm, which parts of the farm produce can be exported and foreign investors can come in. On three pulling out of ECOWAS, to me, I feel negotiation with the leaders of this country is better because we all need one another to have a good economy. God bless Nigeria. Temitakwe Onotoye, thank you very much. And that's a wrap for Mainland Focus for today. Today was quite an interesting run. I mean, it's always colorful having conversations with our dear listener. But then, as we always say here, the conversation never ends. So join 𝗏ᴏᴜ Akinode by 4 p.m. in the Situation Room. And let's carry on. In the meantime, coming up next is Global View by 10. And then by 10:15, we have Mother and Child with Sage Babalola. Thank you very much, Said, for
Thank you, Sandra, for having me.
We'll be right back.
Yo, Nigeria, wake up! They say make hay while the sun shines. It is wise to link your NIN, your Airtel line, ASAP. Big brother isn't watching your phone calls. The NIN police are. Don't be the housemate voted out of your network. NIN registration is not a joke, fam. No NIN, no network. It is not maybe, it is blocked. Yes, blocked. No calls, no data, no flexing online, no Instagram, no X, nothing. You'll be a ghost. But hold up, don't stress. You have the power to avoid being disconnected. Dial *346#. Boom! Your 11-digit NIN pops up like magic. Now link that bad boy to your Airtel line. Dial *996#. Bam! you are safe. You won't be blocked unaware. So, what are you waiting for? This isn't that time for I go do am tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late. Don't be the last one standing on the wrong side of the network firewall. Dial those codes, link your NIN, and keep your Airtel line buzzing this new year. And if you get blocked, don't panic. Walk into any Airtel store with a valid ID and your NIN. You won't be reconnected. Don't be a bad boy. Dial *346#. Boom. Your NIN pops up. Dial *996. Boom. Link your Airtel to your NIN.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's why anytime when they cook like this, I dey always season am with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatashe, shombo, onions. No one wey I no dey put. Na im make my pikin dem dey always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see? Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season am with no cubes. For that ogbonge